It's time to join a, I'm sure, absolutely lovely and not terrifying at all guest. Thanks, Rick. A doll rumoured to be haunted by a dangerous spirit. So dangerous we had to lock her away.
Yes, now, though, she's sat right there in the open with her new owner, psychic Davies, who found her abandoned in a charity shop. Hi, Debbie.
Hiya.
But, we'll get to you, Debbie, but how Annabelle ended up in that charity shop is where the story begins. The first one to speak to her original owner, who joins us now from the Isle of Mull. Good morning, Nathalie.
Good morning.
Good
Hi,
to have you.
Lovely to be here.
Lovely to join. Thank you for joining us. I don't know if there's a reason why you haven't decided to come in, but Nathalie, tell us the original story of how this doll became to be in your person and how you tried to get rid of her.
So the doll actually belonged to my mum, and she bought her about 15 years ago from one of these doll-making companies online. And she's always been in the house, and I've just always found her terrifying. And Mum didn't believe me. She thought that it was just me that thought she was a bit scary.
And did you ever have any strange experiences, you know, with the doll that they're now calling Annabelle? Is any strange experiences that you ever had with her?
Not personally, no. My sister recently reminded me that her dog used to bark at her all of the time. So perhaps there was something there, but not so much.
So, Natalie, it wasn't like a childhood toy for you, but every time you'd go home, you'd have to stay in the same room as her.
Yes, so Mum had her in the spare bedroom where my son and I usually sleep when we go to stay, and I always had to have her evicted as soon as we got there.
So you give your mum's doll away, and, well, your master plan was a little bit foiled, wasn't it? Because what happened next?
Just a bit. So Mum's in the process of moving up to Mull, and we're trying to clear her house so that we can put it on the market. And in February, I'd gone down to help her to, you know, pack up the house and take stuff to charity, take stuff to the dump, etc. Now, she used to volunteer at St Columba's in Morningside in Edinburgh, which is where the doll ended up. And so we'd called them and said, you know, could you come up to the house with a van and pick up lots of boxes? And on the day that the guy arrived, I just sneakily thought, right, this is my chance. Ran upstairs with a doll and a box and some tape and shoved her in a box, taped her up, and I was genuinely thinking, oh my goodness, somebody might have a heart attack opening this box to see contorted child in a box. But then I sort of gave it, there was the very first box that I gave the guy to put in the van. It's like, right, that one, in you go.
And you thought that was it, but that wasn't it.
I did.
What happened?
Problem solved. I forgot about the internet.
As you do. So, and the doll also ended up in your local newspapers, didn't she?
Yeah, so unbeknownst to us, Simone had put her in the window of the charity shop, and the locals started to complain about her being in the window and that, you know, she was actually scaring them. And the local news picked up on it, and she ended up on the front page of the newspaper. And Simone, who obviously had no idea that Mum didn't know that the doll had been, not voluntarily sent to charity, messaged Mum with a photograph of the newspaper and, look, your doll's on the front page of the evening news. Mum sort of turned the phone to me and was like, Nathalie, why is my doll in the newspaper?
Yeah. And Nathalie, before we let you go, any other things you want to confess to your mum while we got you? What else have you tried to chuck away?
Perhaps maybe not on national TV, but there might have been another wee doll that managed to make it into that same box.
Oh, no. Well,
you deserve to be haunted.
Oh, thank you, Nathalie. Now, Debbie, you are the owner now. So as soon as you saw Annabelle, did you name her Annabelle then?
No, it was the charity shop that actually called her Annabelle because people were being so creeped out by her.
Right.
So they thought, well, Annabelle, famous doll, haunted. So they just gave her that name.
So as soon as you saw her in the papers, did you just know that you wanted her? Or did you know that there was something?
It was one of my followers. They messaged me and said, Deb, have you seen this? And it was a screenshot of her being in the paper. And I have a huge collection of haunted dolls. And it's my thing. You know, I was here at Halloween, wasn't I? You know, with a whole collection of them. And I always know when I look at a doll, I see many, many, many creepy dolls that are I'm sent pictures of, and I say, nothing wrong with that. It looks creepy. There's nothing wrong with it. It's like when you look into their eyes as though there's a soul looking right back at you. It's the only way I can describe it. I saw the picture and I thought, I need that doll. So I just started phoning the charity shops because I didn't know which one.
Yeah.
And I phoned one in Edinburgh and I said, do you have a creepy doll in the window?
You just cold called charity shops and just went, have you got a creepy doll?
Do you? That's me all over. Hello, sound like a complete nutcase. But do you have a creepy doll by any chance in the window that was £180 and you've reduced it to £90, thinking now you'll know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And this woman said, no, but I know who has.
You're in.
Like, I'm on it.
It was cold in here, but it's even colder now.
Freezing.
Anyway,
it's all around here where it's actually icy cold, isn't it?
It's freezing.
It is, actually.
So is this Annabelle, do you think, or what's special about her? What's so? Well, she looks creepy, but what's so creepy about her?
Well, so when I first got her, I thought, OK, this doll seems all right. I do think there's something. Where she's come from in Edinburgh, it's a very, very haunted city. Everybody knows that. And it's got this whole underground city as well. You know, people lived and it was very dark and no electricity. So there's a lot of souls kind of wandering around still.
Happy souls?
Some will be and some won't be by law of averages. But I think that a soul wandering around, it's getting colder and colder.
Colder,
here,
yeah.
Isn't it?
Yes.
I'm freezing.
I think a soul wandering around has seen this doll and it reminds them of somebody they knew when they were alive that maybe they were close to or had an affection for a child. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, because I've not investigated this doll yet.
What vibes do you get from...
Well, to be honest with you, I took the doll back up to Scotland at the weekend. We went to Loch Lomond.
Yeah.
Took her to a very haunted place, the Drovers Inn. Everybody knows about that place. I'm not sure if something else has thought, oh, we want to go home with Debbie. Uh-oh. But since we've got back, yeah...
Is she dangerous, then?
Dangerous. In the wrong hands, potentially, in the wrong hands. Somebody who had kids who didn't know, anything, they would know there was creepy things happening at home. They would know. And this is how I've ended up with the collection of dolls that I've got. It's because lots of my followers get in touch and say, Deb, there was somebody standing at the foot of my bed. I only brought this doll in yesterday.
You get all the dolls together? Is it like someone that adopts dogs and stuff? Do they get on to dolls?
Well, that's a very good point, really, because when you bring a new doll into the collection, it's weird how everything goes eerily quiet.
Oh, Deb, thank you so much. To be continued.
Thank you.
Loose Women...